Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Deep Thoughts. And today we are talking about Ahiru no Sora, Episode 4, First Flight. Now, before we get into things, though, I do want to remind you all that if you would like to have your name shouted out in next week's Ahiru no Sora video, then be sure to share this video around on the internet, and then tag me at JoJo Talks Too Much over on Twitter, and I will be sure to shout your name out in next week's video. Now, with that said, I want to say that normally on this channel, I try to be very open to what shows that you guys want me to talk about, and I really try to not shove shows down your throat. I don't want to keep being like, watch this show, you should be watching this show. Like, I don't want to bombard your feeds or anything like that. And, when you guys recommend me shows, I do my best to try to check them out. Even if I don't cover it, I will at least always check it out, right? So I don't want to shove any show down your throat. But so help me, I will get you all to watch this show. I don't care if it's gonna take me all of autumn. I don't care if it's gonna take me all of next season too. So help me, by Odin, I will get you to watch Ahiru no Sora, okay? This show deserves your attention. So some of you may have noticed that today's Ahiru no Sora video has definitely shown up earlier in the week than it normally does. That's because today I decided to kind of flip the script a little bit and place the Ahiru no Sora video into the slot where normally No Guns Life would be airing. Now, I figured maybe the bump to the weekend might actually boost Ahiru no Sora, and it helps since it's a little bit closer to the actual release date of the episode as opposed to like the day before the next one drops. So hopefully this will actually bump up the viewership for the Ahiru no Sora videos, because I wasn't kidding. I really do think that the show is worth a lot of your time. Like, a lot of you guys seem to like shows like Haikyuu. A lot of you guys I know currently are watching Stars Align, and while this is no Stars Align and this is no Haikyuu, you know what? Actually, I would put it up there. I know that Stars Align, everybody's talking about how this is the sports anime of the season. Believe me, I respect that, but that's not that doesn't mean that you should be snubbing Ahiru no Sora. This is a good show. This is like, if Stars Align is a more dramatic sports anime, Ahiru no Sora is your stereotypical sports anime, but I don't mean that as a knock. I mean, if you like sports anime, you not only should you be watching this, I would say that this is required watching for the season. If you're not watching, like if you're a big sports anime guy or girl, I don't know. But either way, if you're a big sports anime fan and you're not watching Ahiru no Sora, quite frankly, I'm confused, because this is perfect. Trust me, the characters are great. The basketball is actually fun, and I'm not a basketball guy, but I gotta say, like, the actual game, because yes, we do actually get to see a game in this week's episode, but the actual playing of the sport is genuinely fun. I think the animation can be really kinetic when it feels like it. It's not the most it's not the most heavily animated thing. Stars Align definitely has a beat in that category. But and maybe it has a beat in drama as well. In fact, not maybe, it definitely does. But Ahiru no Sora delivers lovable as hell characters. Like, this cast, I love them to pieces. And again, I really think you guys should be watching, if not solely for the cast. And speaking of the cast, we actually get to meet a member of the cast that, quite frankly, I thought was super dead. Who am I talking about? I am, of course, talking about Sora's mom. I thought that Sora's mom was dead. Evidently, no, she is not. I honestly spent the past 3 episodes and like a good chunk of this episode assuming that Sora's mom was dead, and that was like the catalyst for him to like really be super duper passionate about basketball. But thankfully, no. Unlike a Disney movie, the mom doesn't have to die. She can stick around. She can be part of the story. And I actually genuinely appreciate that. I like that the character's tragic backstory isn't so tragic that it's like heartbreaking. And honestly, it's a little bit refreshing given the other sports anime that we're checking out this season. Again, I love that show too, but there is room for 2 sports anime. And the fact that Sora's mom's still around gives me hope that maybe we'll actually see her show up to games and like see her maybe like shoot hoops with Sora if she can actually manage to get better, because she is still bedridden. She looks fairly sick. When we see her, she's reading a text message from Sora, and before we actually get to see her, we see a nurse saying like, hey, I'll be back to check up on you soon. So she's bedridden and requires a nurse to be present for whatever. So the fact that she has like a dedicated nurse, that she's still bedridden, whatever she's sick with, it's probably pretty serious. But I gotta say, I loved the little moment where she's looking at the text message and laughing because Sora's like, hey, just so you know, I grew 0.22 centimeters or whatever it was, like 0.02 centimeters, like something like that. And she gets a chuckle out of that because she knows height does obviously play a big part in Sora's life, since it's, you know, he plays basketball. Height's kind of a big deal. So of course he gets excited anytime he assumes that he grew, even if it is like 0.0 something percent of a centimeter. But that's not the funny thing. That's cute, but the funny thing was when he gets excited to show his mom his first team. Like, this is the first, like, I'm gonna play in my first match, and this is the team, and I'm so excited. You're like, you gotta meet them. They're great. And she opens up the picture, and it's Momoharu and Chiaki and the Three Stooges, and she's like, what? What the hell is this? You can tell she's very much like, oh no, I need to get out of this bed and protect my son because these people are going to beat him up. And quite frankly, she's not that far off from the truth, since originally these characters were going to beat him up, except for Chiaki, who's a good dude. Although also, Chiaki's not a good dude. Although he is, but he's not. But he is, but he mostly is. But he did the things in this week's episode that kind of irked me. But for the most part, yes, he is a good dude. But getting back to talking about Sora's mom, whose name I cannot recall. It is dropped in this week's episode when Madoka is talking to Sora. She's like, "Wait, your mom played in the Japanese nationals team. So your mom is blah blah blah. Like, why would you not tell me that? How could you not tell all of us that? That's huge. Why would you keep that from us?" And Sora's like, "I didn't keep anything from anybody. It just, it hadn't come up yet." And I loved the Madoka and Sora scene of her being like, "Hey, can you send me updates too? Like the same way you text your mom?" And she's like, "Give me your number." And he's like, "Wah!" And I was like, dang it. I ship Sora both with Madoka but also with Momoharu. So, competing ships, but it's okay. I can be a multi-shipper, that's totally fine. But the getting, again, watching these videos I don't know how some of you guys watch these videos. I'm such a tangent madman. But getting back to the topic of Sora's mom, it's not just in the hospital that we see Sora's mom, because we actually have a little bit of a flashback where Sora's talking about how his mom is like his biggest inspiration for playing basketball, that he wants to play as well as her, and if she can make it, then so can he. And we get this flashback that made me go like, yep, his mom is the friggin' best, and I'm excited to see more from her down the line, because the scene of her trying to console Sora while also at the same time not sugarcoating things for him was a very genuinely good parenting moment. I thought that was top tier parenting in my opinion, because again, any other parent would be like, "No, sweetheart, no, you're good. They don't know what they're missing." And don't get me wrong, that's sweet to say because Sora's crying because he couldn't play in the final match of his team, and the coach straight up told him it's because of your height. We need somebody with height right now. And the mom is honest with him, listen, sweetheart, yeah, I probably would have made the same call. Your skills don't outmatch his height right now. You just need to keep working on your skills, and eventually your skills will outmatch their height. It's something that you need to keep practicing and working on. And when she's saying that, she then jumps into the icy cold water because it's the middle of friggin' winter, and she jumps into the river to get her son's basketball shoes that he tossed into the river to get them back for him, because she knows that he's not going to give up on basketball. She knows that he loves it just as much as she does. And that scene was so heartwarming. I thought that was brilliantly done. I absolutely love that scene, and the fact that it's then paired up with the Madoka scene of her asking for his number so that he can keep her updated on his progress. Friggin' directing on point in this whole episode. It was absolutely great. But I'm gonna safely assume that if you have seen the episode, the big thing that you want to talk about right now is the game, because yes, hot diggity dog, I can't believe I just said that, but that's how excited I am. We finally got to see them play a game. And we got to see them play a game against those jerkbags from Kazu High or Maru High or whatever it was. I don't remember. I could have sworn for sure that our group was about to get obliterated by these guys. They are way taller, way stockier. Even the Three Stooges there, even they're like, what are they eating at that school? Because holy hell, they are huge. Because they're big dudes. These are supposed to be high schoolers, but they're huge. There is the one little dude who's like maybe like not little, but he's just slightly scrawnier, and he's got like a head over Sora. He's not as big as the others, but he's clearly like their secret weapon and their star player, and he's like their Sora essentially. And yeah, like the height difference is extreme, and again, they're huge dudes. Like these guys are built, so it was intimidating. And then the secret plan came into action, and to see it enacted, to see our team like using the skills that they have built up over time, absolutely brilliant. Seeing the team slowly come together this episode was fantastic. I loved seeing everybody slowly building up their skills and actually using it in the game in the same episode. Like we've seen them like trying to get to know each other, trying to get used to playing basketball. And in this episode, we see a little bit more of them training and getting used to being as working as a team. And now we actually get to see the fruits of that labor and seeing the first match, and we see that in the second half of the episode. Like most of this episode, if not at least at bare minimum, a full half of it is spent on this game. And it's not even done yet. It's only the end of the first quarter by the time we actually wrap up the episode. And it is fantastic, especially seeing Momoharu jump up and smack the ball over to Sora. I don't recall what that is called. I'm so bad at sports ball. But it was cool, dang it. My boy's got mad hops, and he immediately passes the ball over to Sora. Sora, who then not even runs up to, like, I assumed he was running up to the 3-point line, but no, this dude shoots from half court, which I'm going to safely assume is very far. I've played NBA Jam. I know it's far to shoot from half, okay? So I was impressed. I'm dead serious. NBA Jam is actually like really great, even though I don't know much about basketball. I know NBA Jam. But yeah, seeing Sora make that shot to me was a big moment, not only for him, but also to show the other team, like, hey, not only is Sora here to play, but this whole team is here to play. Like, you thought that you were going to come in here and steamroll them. I thought they were going to come in here and steamroll them. But no, our boys are here. They are ready to play, and I am so proud. The only boy who was not ready to play, however, was Chiaki, and yes, that did bum me out. I was a little disappointed that Chiaki didn't make it, because especially when he's like, everybody's out there playing basketball, and I just wanted to hang out with you, which is, I guess, this girl that he was hitting on. And look, like, Chiaki's a character I like him a lot, but to me, I was like, your boys are out there trying to defend their honor, and you're letting them down. You're out here trying to score with some girl who didn't even show up. Like, come on, my guy. That's not you. I know you care about your boys. Go play basketball. I know he's got his reasons. I don't know what they are, but I know he's got his reasons, because otherwise he probably would have been playing by now. And the big dude even says, like, oh, your team captain ain't here, to Momoharu. And so you're like, okay, so Chiaki clearly has his, like, Momoharu had his reasons for not wanting to play, but Chiaki clearly has his own reasons as well. And I'm expecting him, what I'm going to safely assume, since this episode ended with the other team's version of Sora saying, I'm not going to let you get any more points, because I figured out your weakness, Sora. So I'm going to safely assume that in next week's episode, we're gonna see like the team start to lose, and then at the 11th hour, Chiaki's gonna show up, and maybe that'll be how they end the episode, is like Chiaki being like, hey, I'm up, let's go. Like, that's how I'm going to safely assume the next episode is gonna go. And there's nothing wrong with that, with me saying that and me predicting it, and if it comes true, I'm not like, oh man, it's predictable. I'm like, no, that's what you should do, and that's what I'd be excited to see. So I'm hoping I'm right. And man, it was just cool. It was just a cool episode, and again, it was fantastic. If any of these videos that I've made on Ahiru no Sora convince even one person to check out the show, I'm happy. With that said, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and give this week's episode its first A rank. This is very much an A tier episode. I really enjoyed it, and again, you should be watching Ahiru no Sora. I'm gonna keep saying this every week until you do. On that note, everybody, that just about wraps everything up, but before we go, as always, I want to give a big shout out to the good folks over on Patreon, namely those in the Earl Grey tier: Calvin Atkinson, Crowbar of Irony, Dominic, Urza, Ginkotaku, No For Nothing, Maria Teresa, Mirth Mouser, Omna Garamond, Cell, Shadow Creative, Sipco Games, Somastan, Steven, Tristan, and Verdun. Thank you all so much for your continued support over on Patreon, and hey, if you too would like to join the T Squadron, then by all means go ahead and check out that first link in the description to check out our Patreon page, see all the cool rewards you can get for as little as $1 a month, and get access to our Patreon exclusive Discord. But on that note, everybody, that's going to be a video, so I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, you've probably been on the internet long enough to know what to do already, so I ain't going to tell you, but I will say that it is appreciated, and if you are feeling stressed out today, then you go have yourself a warm cup of tea, and I will talk to you all again real soon.